So with all the different custom builds out there you can get on 700 action platforms for 22s, we wanted to go and put together a little more economical 22 build that's kind of an all-around accurate 22 that you can go shoot an NRL match on the weekend, or a PRS long range 22 match, or even just go out back with your family and go hunting or shooting some cans. Now I got on her. It's hammering. So to show you really what this gun can do, we're gonna go take it out, get some speeds on it, and put together a dope card for it to see how far we can push it out to, and just how accurate it can actually be at short distance as well. So we've got a KYL rack that gets down to a 1/4 inch size target, so basically the thickness of the steel. We're gonna shoot at 100 yards, and then we're gonna go shoot some long distance as well with this, and just see how fast we can get on those targets. So we ended up going and getting a CZ 457 barreled action. We wanted to choose an action that was really high quality, but yet was still very economical. You have great options for different triggers to put on it, lots of different rail options, and just overall a really great action to start with. Took it directly over to the guys over at IBI and had Ryan install one of their fluted barrels on this. We ended up going with a fluted barrel over a carbon, save a little bit of money for one thing, and then with the flutes in there, saves a little bit of weight. So if you do want to go out and hunt with this, one afternoon, you can do that as well, or just carrying it in the bush in general is going to be a little bit easier. On the action, we also went and changed out the trigger, reached out to the guys at Timney, and they sent us up one of their CZ 457 triggers, and we installed that. And just to get a little better pull weight on these, fairly consistent trigger with the 457 already, but we wanted just a little bit nicer trigger in there, because we always know a nice trigger makes for more accurate shots. Then we went and dropped it directly into one of our XRSs. Going with the XRS was a no-brainer, being that it is a crossover type chassis. All kinds of customization can happen with this chassis setup. One thing we have changed on this XRS though is we went with the aftermarket forend, which has a full integral ARCA rail, has the NV hood up here, which is kind of nice for grabbing a hold of for when you're shooting off of barricades and stuff. And we also put the internal weight in here. So say if you're going to be running a match, NRL 22 or a PRS 22 match, you can go drop that weight in there and keep that balance a little more forward when you're on the bags. And then if you want to go out and do some plinking, like I said, in the bush, or at the range, you can take that weight out. On the front end of this, we also went with a new ground pod on this. So this is the ARCA style one. So you can slide it back and forth nice and quickly, lock it back down, and it has the quick deploy legs. It's super quick and definitely a solid bipod for this setup. We have gone with the MDT Elite rings. These are great setup. They got 6 bolts on the top and the heavy duty cross bolt on there. Inside the rings, what we ended up going with was a Vortex Viper PST. With this rifle setup being for hunting and also competition, we wanted to make sure we went with the first focal plane scope, and we want to make sure we go with a really high quality glass. So we're out at the range today. We're gonna go and get a quick zero here at 50 and see what kind of accuracy we can get out of this setup. Okay, so we got her sighted in here real quick. I did a couple, I call them expedient sighters. Went down to this target down here to start doing a group. So I always like to hold or shoot at the smallest spot possible, and I like to shoot at the bottom of diamonds. I don't know, it's just my particular thing. So I shot this group here. So this is 5 shots. So we ended up shooting about a .61 MOA group at 50 yards. So we'll go get some speeds on this load now and then take it out to some distance. So one thing we figured out with shooting long range 22, so like out past 150 yards, we'll call that, your speeds are super important, because this round is subsonic the whole time. It becomes real crucial to have really good numbers. This has decent numbers. We got an average speed of 1031 for 14 shots, and I got a standard deviation of 13 feet per second. So this is within reason. This is kind of what you expect from like SK match type ammo. So, middle of the road, a little bit on the cheaper side for ammunition. And now we're gonna go and shoot some really small targets on a KYL rack at 100 yards. Kind of the idea behind this rifle is, like I said, you can go and shoot a NRL match on a weekend where you're shooting at, short distance out to 100 yards. And then we're gonna go see what we can do at long distance with it. There I go. Let's go for the smallest one here. There we go. Okay, so we're at our other spot here now. We've got a target out at 384. It's a 12-inch circle, painted white downrange. We've got the target cam. We've got 20.6 mils of elevation dialed on right now. So one of the cool things that we also did on this CZ is we actually put one of our new, coming out soon, 50 MOA bases. So those will be out soon, and it gave us a little extra elevation there to get it to these distances. So let's see what we can hit. Okay, so I got a little bit of left to right, so I'm going to hold a mil on the center of the target for wind and see what we do. Okay, so it hit just off to the left there. I saw it hit in the dirt. So I'm going to hold a half a mil of wind and see if that works out. Okay, so it looks like it's actually low as well. So I'm going to hold a half a mil because that looked like good for wind. I saw it hit near the bottom of the T-post. It's hard to tell because we're shooting on a downhill angle here to pick up exactly where your impacts are. There we go. I can't see exactly where it's hitting on the steel. I did paint it, but it's not perfect. So I hit a little on the left side there, so I'm going to bring it back in a bit for my windage. There we go. Now I got on her. So it seems like it's about a probably about a 20.8 mil hold. So there's 3 for 3. Definitely good to go there. Okay, so our next target here is like a 60% IPSC down there, and it's at 439. So Kestrel's saying I need to hold 25.7, right around that area for elevation. I've got 20.6 dialed on right now. So I'm gonna hold on the, hold 4 mils in my reticle and plus a little bit, and then I'll probably start and hold with probably a half mil of wind, 3/4 mil of wind to see where it goes. So we got our setup here on the tripod again, and we'll see what we can do. Did not get a read on that one. Low left. Okay, I'm gonna send another one, see if I can get one on it. Oh yeah, I got her there. Okay, so that is an extra 1.5 mils, so it's like 5.5 mils. And the wind looks like it's coming the other way now, so I'm gonna go hold 5.5 mils of elevation and like a 0.3, 0.2 area for windage. Looks like it just went out the left edge. So so that was there. I'm gonna hold a half a mil to center. There we go. See if I can get that again. Oh, just over the head. I'm gonna bring my elevation down to about 5. Same hold. Oh, that went high again. I'd like to try and repeat it again, just make sure it wasn't luck. Yeah, it looks like it is about a 5.5 mil for elevation. Actually, it looks like a little bit more wind out there. Straight up for wind now, that's what I thought I saw a hit on the right. yeah, just win there now. So we've only put about, I don't know, 80 rounds to this gun so far. Usually I like to try and put 500 to 1,000 rounds through a barrel, just to kind of season it in. It's kind of an odd thing about the 22 rimfire stuff. It does come with the lubes on it, and it is lead, and it's all a combination of things. It's definitely a different beast than shooting a center fire. So usually I like to drop, 500 to 1,000 rounds through, just to kind of get it seasoned in, they call it. And then it tends to tighten up even after that. And I'm impressed with it for how many rounds I've only put through it now, and it's hammering at short range. And obviously hitting a 12-inch target at 380 and a 60% IPSC at 440, it's definitely going to do its job, and you're going to have a good time shooting it.